Hey guys, Ike here from IkesOutdoors.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about the tight spot quiver. I've had a chance to test out this quiver here the past week or so, and I've been very impressed with it overall. You can see I've got the quiver on my bow here. The one I've got on my bow is very sharp looking. This is a black carbon fiber looking finish on this. And they got these available in a lot of different colors. I mean, almost any kind of the popular camo that you can imagine. And black, carbon fiber, and a lot of different options on there as well. And they also have the Lost camo for you guys who shoot Matthews. Now there's a lot of things that set this tight spot quiver apart from the others that I've used. But the thing that sets it apart most, in my mind, is that right there. And it's the reason it's called a tight spot. Is you can see how close that sets to your bow. That's going to help you eliminate torque. When you get a lot of weight on this side of your bow, naturally your bow is going to want to lean that way. With this one set in closer to the bow, it really does seem to eliminate a lot of that torque and a lot of that pull that you get from the weight being all on that side. This has what they call the ultra tough hood, and this is a pretty tough hood. I'll say that. I had my bow hanging in front of my target earlier today, and my son was shooting his little bow. He's 3 years old. And he shot too high, and he actually bounced an arrow off of that hood. Now, it's not a very stout bow that he's shooting, but it didn't chip it, it didn't dent it, it didn't do nothing to it. So I was pretty impressed with that overall, taking the shot from that little bow and not having any damage at all. This has got an extra long wheelbase, is what they call it. It's 18 inches from your hood to your grippers. And that makes this thing that much more quiet, holds your arrows that much more stable. So that's a real nice feature of this thing as well. It really eliminates that vibration. It has extra deep hood grooves in this thing, extra deep hood cutouts in there. You can see I've got a couple different, I don't know where you can see that from there, but I've got a couple different broadheads in there, and I've even got one arrow with a field point in it to test this thing out. And that'll help me test out some variations that you're going to have for you guys who are shooting mechanicals. You guys are shooting fixed blade, and for one, two, you're going to have field points in here. And it's been very quiet with everything in there and held them very securely. So I've had no problems getting different kind of broadheads in there on that hood. It's got what they call the quick draw system on this thing, which is really neat. Put your #1 arrow right here facing you. So after you take your shot, or when you get to your tree stand, whatever the case is, you can actually pull that straight out, and it's out that quick. You don't have to try to pull it out and bring it around. So that quick, you can pull it out. That quick, you can have it ready for a second shot or for your first shot. So I like that as well. It also has the quick detach, one-handed removal. It's easy, real easy. You just slide that thing up, pull your quiver out, and you're off. And that thing is super nice. When it locks down, it really locks it down tight. You can see how quick or how hard I had to push down on that. When it locks it down, it really knocks it down in good. And it just slides right off. That is super easy to take off. No fumbling around in the dark. It's a nice big lever, so if you're going to be taking this off in the dark, you know, in the morning, you're trying to put it back on in the evening when you're getting ready to take down, it's real nice. That lever is right there. Pop it, and you're done, and that's it. That's all it takes to remove it. Now, this also has, you can adjust how this thing sets on your bow. You can see mine is angled back just a little bit. That's going to balance this out a little bit better. So what you got here is, let me take this off again. These actually have grooves in here that are, I'd say about 1 inch long, or maybe about 3/4 to an inch, something like that. So you can tighten that, and you can set that however you want to, and that will help you to balance your bow out, stabilize your bow a little bit better, because you can set that to where it's balanced out. It's a really nice feature of this, and I really like that. This quiver also has a couple features that we'll show you right here. There's a strip right there. It's probably not enough light in here to show you guys, but there's a strip right here across across where your arrows are going to contact this piece here. And this piece is adjustable. You can move that up and down, and that strip's going to help your arrows, instead of vibrating against just that metal, they're actually right there touching that strip, and that's going to help some vibration. Now, this doesn't come into play on my Bowtech, it doesn't seem like, but it also has this piece here. It's called the bumper. This piece up here is called the bumper strip. And the other piece that is down further, it's called the quad fit spacer, and that dampens vibration. It fits right up against your roller guard or your cable guard, and it's just going to dampen your vibration and give you a reference point for your cable slide. You know your arrows back on there as well. Now, a couple features I like about this thing. Overall length on this is 19 3/4. Overall weight on this is 11.36 ounces. So that's a pretty lightweight quiver. And I really like that, especially the way it sets tight against your bow. It doesn't want to pull it over. Now, on my hog hunt recently, I used another brand quiver, which is a good quiver, but I'd used it before. And the slots were so loose from the bigger arrows that I'd put in there. When I switched to these VAPs, they didn't actually fit, and they were loose. And one of my arrows just kept constantly falling out. And I had to slide it back up in there, slide it back up in there. And it was just simply from going from the bigger Victory arrows down to these smaller diameter VAPs. What this has got is it's got a wedge. It's called, what they call it, it's an arrow wedge. It actually, you can put, it's got an Allen screw in there and a wedge that goes down and forces these grippers closed. So if you got smaller diameter arrows, you can put them in there, you can tighten that up with an Allen wrench, and it's going to force these things closed. You can see mine are really tight in there. So that's really nice. I really like that on the adjustability to this. So if I'm shooting 3D and I got my 3D arrows out, you know, I can take it, I can loosen that up, and I can put my 3D arrows in there. Or if for some reason I go back to a bigger shaft next year or whatever, which I don't see happening because I love these VAPs, but I can always adjust that back out and adjust it back down to smaller diameter arrows. So I really like that feature of it. Really get that thing nice and tight, and boy, they don't make a sound. I mean, this thing is nice and quiet. And another thing that's real cool about it, which I've got them, I have to turn them a little bit. It's got what it's called this tail fan design, so your fletchings don't touch. You can see I got mine setting up in there, and none of my fletchings are touching. That one, I had to rotate it around a little bit, but there's a nice space in there between each one of them, so your fletchings are not sitting right on top of each other. I've used some quivers before in the past that no matter how you rotated these, they were touching, or you know, and those vanes touching each other and bumping up against each other, vibrating against each other, they tend to make a little bit of noise. So that's some of the features of this tight spot quiver. Now I'm going to put this back on my Invasion, and we're going to go out and do a little bit of shooting and just show you guys how quiet this thing actually is. Okay, so I'm going to do some shooting now, and I'm not going to back up too far. I'm really going to try to keep just the quiver in the frame here real well so you guys can see it. I'm going to leave this loaded up. I've got some Red Feather Phoenix in there, got some Steel Force, and I got a mechanical head. I don't even know what kind. It may be a Grim Reaper on this back one. So we're going to take some shots here with this and show you how quiet this thing is, mainly is what we're after right now. I'm going to shoot a couple of these with it on there, and then I'm going to shoot some of them with it off to show you the difference. You can see I really like the way it balances out. The weight distribution now, especially with that angle set the way it is, and the lightweight feel of the quiver, man, it really, really balances this bow out really well. Okay, so we're focused in really well now on the quiver. Got my camera set up a little bit better so you can see the actual quiver on the shot. And I'll shoot one more. And that's another nice thing about this gripper system on the bottom is these are some of my old arrows, and these are old Easton Flatlines that are pretty big diameter. So if I want to carry this for a coyote arrow, coon arrow, whatever, I want to take this into the woods with me. This is a 5-arrow quiver too, by the way, if I forgot to mention that. I can loosen up the gripper here, and I can put this arrow in there. So it allows me the versatility to carry that extra arrow, that oddball arrow that some of us carry to just put down different animals like coyotes and stuff like that. Okay, so I got 2 arrows left. I'm going to take this quiver off and show you the difference. To me, I don't hear hardly any difference. Now, it may be a little bit different for you guys, you know, from the shooter's ear and from what this microphone actually picks up are a little bit different. And I think that this Invasion is a pretty quiet bow, and I'm pretty happy with the noise level on it. And I don't notice any difference from the bow shooting with the quiver and the bow shooting without the quiver. Okay, so that's the tight spot quiver, and like I said, it's extremely quiet quiver. Looks great. I really like the looks of this thing. This black carbon fiber one's probably going to go on my new breed Nemesis here pretty soon. And I'll probably order a mossy oak one for my Invasion, just got to keep those colors matching, you know. But this black carbon fiber looks sweet. It looks really nice, and it's really going to look good. Even the shafts here are black carbon, so I really like that as well. I like the adjustability of this as well. You know, you can loosen the bolts on this. You can slide this up and down, and you can get it exactly where you want it. The tilt, you know, you can tilt that thing out to exactly where you want it to get the fit and balance that you want. Sets so close up to the bow, I mean, you don't even hardly know this thing's there, other than just feeling just a little bit of added weight. And the gripper system down here, that wedge system, is awesome. I really like that, the versatility of that. And this is just an extremely quiet, extremely well-built quiver. And one of the things that I like about this company is they have an Ironclad Guarantee. I hope I'm saying that's the right name. What they'll do is, if you're the original owner of this and you have problems with this, you call them up and they'll fix it or replace it. That's awesome. That is awesome that a company stands behind their product like that. So, you know, if something goes wrong with this, I know that they're not going to leave me hanging, and they're going to take good care of me. So that is awesome to have a guarantee like that. You don't find that in a lot of companies in any industry, let alone the archery industry. So it's very tough, very versatile, and that Ironclad Guarantee, it really goes a long way with me. So, and now I will say something. I don't usually talk about price on stuff like this when I'm doing a review. I just review the product. This is a little bit more expensive quiver than what some of the others are out there on the market. But I really think for the money, you're getting a quiver that you're going to own for a lifetime. And if it is something you want to resell, the resale value on this is going to be good because it's a tight spot. Everybody knows that tight spots are excellent quivers. So yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more money on a tight spot than you are, you know, say a quickie quiver or something like that. But you're getting a heck of a lot better quiver in my opinion. And the Ironclad Guarantee, you know, you can keep this quiver for life. And you know it's going to be covered. You know if something goes wrong with it, they're going to take good care of you. So I think that definitely makes it worth the money, and definitely the innovations that it has, the quick detach, the gripper, all that, you know, are definitely unique to this product, and I'm sure most of them are patented. So you're not going to find those anywhere else. And that, to me, in my mind, makes this worth the extra money. Like I said, this is a quiver you're going to have for the rest of your life, and you know no matter what happens to it, they're going to take care of you. As long as they're in business, they're going to take care of you. And I don't see Tight Spot going out of business anytime soon. The website is tightspotquivers.com, so be sure to check this out. For more information on this and for more product reviews, some more hunting videos and more bow reviews, we've got the Seeker coming up pretty soon. Be sure to check out our website. That's ikesoutdoors.com. Appreciate you guys watching.